A world without color is a world without life. A life with no color is a life with no beauty. Established with a vision of enriching our lives with beauty by manufacturing paints that comes with limitless color options to choose from. BBC Industrial Company Limited, a leader and a pioneer in the paint industry in Ghana, with a brand that is a household name and most preferred by the majority of those in the building industry.
Internally, we use the Princess White Emulsion, which is a premium product from BBC. Then the ceiling, we also use white acrylic emulsion, also from BBC.
We have a vision to be the biggest company of paints in West Africa. That's our vision. About our products, you can ask the market. We are the best and the biggest company in Ghana.
Founded in January 1964, with a mission to set standards in the manufacturing of high-quality and affordable paints and decorative products, BBC is now the leading paint manufacturer in Ghana and the second largest in West Africa. 50 years of unabated operations has earned the company a solid reputation for high-quality products, with consistency in quality standards for customer satisfaction and confidence.
We've been using BBC paint for decades now. And the reason behind it is basically simple. The product is of good quality. It bonds well to the background. It doesn't fade off quickly, and it's able to withstand the elements of the weather.
To manufacture and maintain a high-quality standard paint from the market, BBC has set up an ultra-modern laboratory for testing samples and developing cutting-edge solutions to serve any need. All materials in both the emulsion and gloss paint are first tested in this lab before sent to the main factory for further processing, and they are brought back for post-testing like the washability, recoating, viscosity, drying time, and brush application, amongst others.
This is our lab. Our lab is concerning two parts. One part is concerning for paints and emulsion, for R&D, all materials that receiving and the new materials we still receiving. And the second part, we starting the second part of lab is a bio lab concerning our bacteria aspect, whatever you deal with the humidity, with water. So in Ghana here, you must also have, in paint manufacture, you must also have a bio lab. This is most important here. So our lab is also having quality assurance of the material, and we have also quality assurance after production.
Our laboratory does research and development. We are searching for the new materials and the new products. Also, we are doing the quality control on the all incoming materials. Anything what they come to the factory, before we send for the production process, we must control it and assure that what we receive is according to our standard.
Our lab is the best lab in Ghana. Why? Because we bring the right equipment and the right instrument to check up the quality assurance.
In the laboratory, we're searching for all parameters for the raw material, send it for the production flow, take it, finishing product, and also the check it full quality control on the product. We are checking viscosity, specific gravity, color, drying time, washability of the other products.
Also, we have some, we training our staff later. We enjoying some training outside in France and in Dubai. We train our staff on new materials. Our principle in work, in processing, in production, to give the right production with right quality assurance. That's what our principle. And our principle in the work, in production, to prevent the problem before it happens. This is our quality assurance in production, in our lab, in quality assurance.
The process involves the assembling of raw materials, mixing, dispersing, thinning and adjusting, filling and warehousing. The raw materials, after being tested from the laboratory, is manually weighed and pre-mixed.
Here is the production field, where we normally produce our Leyland paint emulsion. On the way from the scale, I'll be transported here. All the materials are mixed together in the mixer. After this, we send it back to the lab to check the viscosity, the density, and the color.
The particles are made wet with binders to ensure dispersion in the liquid matrix. This process is called grinding. After an initial run, which may take as long as 48 hours, resin is added to the paste and grinding process is repeated for a shorter period. For water-based paint, the binder is usually added at this stage. Then the paste is thinned with resin or solvent, filtered and then transferred again by gravity to the can filling area. The filling is done manually. The containers used to fill the paints are made in a different section of the factory: the emulsion paint plastic container and the gloss paint metal buckets. To make the metal container, a tin printed and plain metal strips are cut into standard size by the cutting machine. The strips are then rolled into cylindrical shapes in a rolling machine. The opposite ends are joined together in a welding machine to obtain the shape. A flasher turns each of the open adjacent ends of the can so that the button cover and the ring of the neck can be fixed onto the container by a sealing machine. The button covers are made by molding plain galvanized sheets in the tin rolling machine. The last piece of the can is the handle, which is made in BBC's new ultra-modern factory. This same factory is where the plastic containers are made. After the containers are filled with paint, they are wrapped and moved to the warehouse where they await for their journey to the market.
If you ever find yourself stuck in the middle of the sea, I'll sail the world to find you. If you ever find yourself lost in the dark and you can't see, I'll be the light to guide you. Find out what we're made of, all to help our friends in need. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. Count on me 'cause I can count on you.
Yummy, always different, truly different.
The GSA takes careful measures to ensure the quality of all consumer products and processes involved in testing is very thorough.
We have 2 major standards for paints. That's one for the oil paint and then the other one for the emulsion paint. The oil paint, we have GS 180. That is the specification for the decorative high gloss enamel paint for interior and external use. And then the GS 181. That is also for the specification for decorative and protective emulsion paint.
We have other standards for paint, but basically those are the 2 that we use for enamel and emulsion paints. We say a paint is quality if it's meeting the specification in the standard. And then for emulsion paints, we have a range of parameters that we test to see if it's quality. Some are the washability, that's how it's able to resist the weather conditions, whether if it's raining. And then also we have the recoating properties. After you've done the first coat, you do the second coat. You see if the second coat wouldn't lift the first coat.
How to recoating, you look out for these properties to make sure that the first coat doesn't remove. And that the second coat takes very well to the first coat.
And then also we test the consistency, that's the viscosity, how thick it is. That one we use an instrument to do it. And for emulsion paint, it shouldn't be more than 80 minimum. The minimum is 80. And then for enamel, the minimum is 65. And then also we do the drying time. When you paint it, how long it should take for it to dry. We do the brush application. When you are painting it, the brushing should flow. It shouldn't be lifting, you shouldn't pull the brush. We examine the paint film after it has been painted to see if there's no cracking, lifting or whatever in it. Those are some of the qualities that we check to see if a paint is of good quality. After we've done that, if they are meeting the specifications that are stated in the standard, we say that the paint is of good quality. For it to be inferior to, we have other things that it should meet, if it's failing some of them. But the important ones are toxicity. For the enamel paint, they do add lead chromate. So we check the lead content, and the standard says it shouldn't exceed 0.06.
So now I'm taking the lead content with an acid, which is nitric acid, 10% nitric acid.
Enamel paints, they add lead chromate for the durability, to give it the glossy look, and also it makes it dry faster. Those are the reasons why they add the lead to it, the lead chromate to it. But the standard says that fine, you can add it, but it shouldn't exceed 0.06. So when it comes to the lab, we are testing to see if it's within the specification of the standard.
Certification is basically a procedure or a way of assuring the quality of a product, normally by a third party body, a third party that's a party that does not have any interest in a product. So Ghana Standards Authority, we do certification on behalf of Ghanaians. Now with paint, well, the certification it's a whole process. It involves inspection or audit of the manufacturer's facility to assess the kind of quality infrastructure the manufacturer has in place. It also involves looking at the kind of manufacturing practices, the good manufacturing practices that goes on there, the kind of quality records that are being kept. And then we move on to the testing of the product. Each product is tested according to a standard, a Ghana standard. If there's no Ghana standard, there's a foreign standard. We follow on a foreign standard. For paint, we use two main standards: GS 181, which is for emulsion paints, and then GS 180 for enamel paints, which people normally call oil paint. So for a paint to be certified, after the inspection of the factory, samples are taken and then tested in the laboratory to make sure it conforms according to the standard requirements. Some of the requirements are that one, the consistency of the paint is supposed to meet a particular specific value. The drying time, nobody wants to paint and then forever it hasn't dried. So for every paint to be of good quality, it should dry within 4 hours maximum. It should also you should be able to apply either a brush or paint easily. Okay, there shouldn't be any struggling trying to apply the paint. So we look at application property. We also look out for the hiding power, that it should be able to obscure a white or black background. Aside that, we also look at for recoating, because after you do the first coating, you should be able to apply a recoat with the first coating not coming off or being spoiled or any other negative shall I say property. So when the test report is ready, together with the inspection report and then the labeling, we also review the labeling to make sure it's conforming, because the labeling is critical, because you want to ensure you have the product name right, the kind of storage conditions there, the instructions for use is there, the content you've declared it is accurate. We check all those things to make sure you don't have any misleading claims on the product. So after reviewing the inspection report, the labeling, the test report, then we meet and make recommendation. As a whole, the approval committee meets, and then we make a recommendation that okay, because the manufacturer has satisfied the laid down requirement, then that person should be granted certification. So you are granted a license to use the certification mark, the mark of conformity on the product, and it's normally for a year. And in Ghana, most of the paints are certified. One example that really comes to mind is BBC Industries, the producers of Leyland Paints. They make sure that every year, you are supposed to renew every year. Every year they come for renewal, and we subject their products to the various processes, as I earlier on mentioned, the inspection of the factory, the facility, to make sure that everything is done according to laid down procedures or laid down requirements, the testing, the labeling, and then they are issued. So most of the paints in Ghana, yes, come for certification, and Leyland is one of them.
Stuck in the middle of the sea, I'll sail the world to find you. If you ever find yourself lost in the dark and you can't see, I'll be the light to guide you. Find out what we're made of when we are called to help our friends in need. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. Count on me, 'cause I can count on you.
Yummy, always different, truly different.
harsh tropical environments in Ghana require special parameters to the our paint. All our emulsion is designed to the tropical environment, would be suitable in Ghana. We are especially working to research new biocides and new preservatives to the our paint to avoid bacterial attacks in the our emulsion paint.
As a leading paint production company in the country and second best in West Africa, we are not only concerned about the quality of the paints we put on the market, but we are also concerned about the safety of the company, of the people that work here, and of everybody in the environment. As you can see behind me, it's more than 100,000 metric ton capacity of fire hydrant, which we have built to be ready in place in case of any fire accident. So for any fire accident, we are really prepared to prevent any fire explosion that would destroy property and personnel over here.
So basically, we've been using BBC paint for a long time because of the quality of the paint. We use the emulsion and the oil-based paints from BBC company. For a higher building like this at Defraco, the external paint or the external envelope is painted with 3 different colors from gold, IDC, emulsion paint. You can see for the first floor externally, we use the special gold grey paint. Then for the first floor, we use the ivory acrylic emulsion paint. Then for the porch, we use the orange paint. The paint should have some basic properties or some basic functions. The paint should be able to bond well to the background.
I'm a painter by profession. I have used Leyland products, that's BBC products, for the past 12 years now, and I can tell you the effect is the best so far, because I have used other products. Other products, applying it, you have to use several coats. Like you have to buy primer first, apply the primer before you apply the product itself. But unlike Leyland paints, all you need is to apply this, use the same paint as a primer because it is self-priming. It has a high quality effect. I have used it with the Leyland paint, the Leyland gloss too. I have used it. It has a low odor. Unlike other paints, when you use other paints, the scent has to be in the room for a long time. But Leyland has a very good odor that it doesn't. You can use the same day and use your product, use the room or the facility that same day. Some other paints, when you apply it on a fresh building, within a short period of time, it will begin to peel. Within a short period of time, it will begin to peel. But unlike Leyland paint, it is not like that. When you apply Leyland paint, you are safe. You don't have any fear of the paint being peeled off. So I can confidently say that Leyland is the best. For this reason, I recommend Leyland to painters and landlords for them to use Leyland or BBC products and feel the effect for themselves. Because there's a saying that seeing is believing.
Welcome to the BBC showroom, where 2 main products are sold, the gold acrylic and the gold tropical. In this showroom, customers can have the option to choose whatever color they desire. Using state-of-the-art machineries like the color camera and the dispenser machine, any kind of color desired by customers can be achieved. The color camera is used to select color that can't be found on the color chart at the showroom. The device captures the color and the data is fed or given to the dispenser machine that mixes the specific customized color for the customer.
This is our dispensing machine. This is where all our colors is being assembled. And so if any of the colors short, you have to fill it with what we call eco tint. So as I'm doing right now, I am filling the tint until it gets full, so that I can dispense whatever color I want for my customers. So I have finished the filling of the canister. I have topped the color up, so I'm come to fill it and then add it up. Now my machine is ready for any other job.
When the code is fed to the dispenser, the machine dispenses the colorant feed into the base. The base is removed from the dispenser into shaker. The shaker shakes the base to mix the colorants until the desired color is achieved.
It can't reach to this point as the biggest paint manufacturer without our customers, without backing our customers. So I advise to my customers still using BBC now and in future and forever as a partnership that between you and BBC. That's my advice to you. And whoever who don't use BBC, I advise you to go and check Leyland and Gold and whatever new we are producing and launching in the market.